104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. Giants fans absolutely hate this guy.
That's a nice introduction there.
It is, because you know they hate you, but they can't. You played with class. Dat Nguyen joins us, Dallas Cowboys linebacker, among other great accomplishments, now on radio in San Antonio.
Yes, ESPN San Antonio.
Now, Bill Romanowski yesterday, you know Romo's nuts. He goes out and he says that if he's playing against Cam Newton, he's going to get him on the pile, he's going to squeeze his neck and try to make it so he can't breathe for a while. He says that's the best way to beat the Panthers. When you hear stuff like that, what do you think?
Well, I think that's old school. That's how sometimes when you get under the pile, a lot of things happen under there. You can't tell, you can explain to people. There's a lot of things that happens underneath that pile. And we all know things happens real fast. And anytime you can get into a guy's mind. Cam Newton right now is playing at a high level. And he's really maybe the most confident player in the National Football League. Reminds me a lot of what Steph Curry's doing in the NBA.
Right.
So anytime you can get into his mind and distract him, if it's punch him in the stomach, squeezing his knees, whatever you want to do, step on his ankles, whatever you have to do, just to let him know, hey, it's going to be a 60-minute battle.
So, all right, wait a minute now. What's the craziest thing you did?
I didn't do anything. I just watch other guys do it.
Okay. Let me air quote. What's the craziest thing you saw another guy do?
Well, there's always hitting, excessive punishment. I guess, a fist in the stomach or a jab here and there, but there's a lot of things that goes on that you can't really explain. It just happens, and it's just football players are actors. We're entertainers, so they like to. You can't really see it's so smooth that when they do stuff there in the pile that it's just, that's trying to get up, but really they put a little more ump in the opposing running back or offensive player.
If you're a Broncos defensive player, is there a way to stop Cam Newton other than just saying, "Oh, we have to hurt him to get to him"?
Well, I think it's going to be a challenge, no doubt about that. What they're going to do is they're going to run the football, and that read zone, as we all know, the game has changed a little bit from the college and high school football that we see now. The extra half hat, meaning the extra half man. As a quarterback, you can't defend that. Any kind of defense you want to try to put out there, you have to make the decision. And I think for Cam Newton, he's such an unselfish player that we forget that, yes, he brings attention to himself, but he runs that read zone. He knows how to read it in or the outside linebacker, wherever the read's going to be, that he can give the ball and let the running back make the play if the outside linebacker defense then stay and wait for Cam Newton. But they chase, meaning if they go get the running back, he's going to pull it and run it outside, and we see it all the time. So it's not a guessing game. It's just that Coach Wade Phillips going to have to come up with a plan. Are you going to take Cam Newton out of it, or are you going to let the running back beat you? So if I was Wade Phillips, I would say the defensive end, outside linebacker, if they run that read zone, you take Cam Newton 99% of the time, and you don't let him get momentum to beat you.
Let everybody else, if
let somebody else beat you.
Yeah, let them have a big game. Dat Nguyen, the Dallas Cowboy linebacker, now on ESPN in San Antonio. Denver Broncos, Carolina Panthers. Who has the better linebackers?
Oh, well, it's a little bit different. It's kind of funny you asked that. I think the Broncos has unbelievable outside rushers, outside linebackers, and Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware. The inside linebacker doesn't get enough credit. I think Brandon Marshall has been a very excellent addition to this team. But Anthony Nathaniel is a very good guy too, a good player. But the other two inside linebackers that we see from the Carolina Panthers, it reminds me of the two kids from the San Francisco 49ers a couple of years ago, Willis and Bowman.
Yeah.
These guys just cover a lot of ground. They're very seldom that they come off the field. They played all three downs, which is hard to find nowadays in the National Football League. So the outside linebackers are excellent for the Broncos, and the inside linebackers for the Carolina are exceptional. So it kind of evens out, but it's kind of a tough question because
they're different.
Different
they
linebackers.
Play the game differently.
Yes, yeah.
Thomas Davis is going to play this game after breaking his arm and having surgery. How hard is that? Would you have played?
Well, I tried to play. I broke my wrist one year, and I broke it early in the game, and I played with it. It was painful, but I never put myself in a situation. I was like, you put 12, 13 pins. Dude, it's just that the adrenaline's going to be flowing. It'll be good at the beginning of the game, but as it wears down, how are you going to be? How effective are you going to be as a linebacker? You have to take on those offensive line every other play. You drop in coverage, you make a tackle, you got to wrap up. So how effective it's going to be, I think it's going to be the question is going to be. But overall, I never phantom to say, you play after you have surgery a week ago. But you work all your life for this opportunity. And this opportunity, like a Jared Allen, broken foot a couple weeks ago, didn't play in the NFC Championship. He's playing.
Right.
He knows he's been in the league 15 years. He never has sniffed you know,
never even
the
close
Super
to the big
Bowl.
game,
So
yeah.
now so that tells you a lot of guys that football players are wired a little bit different anyways.
Right.
But when you make it to this level or this game, you do anything you can to play.
Who's going to win the game?
I think the Carolina Panthers going to pull it out. I would love Peyton Manning to win it just because of what he has accomplished, what he's done, and what he represents.
Yeah.
For the National Football League. This is one of the best players ever to play, one of the smartest players ever to play. Got a chance to play against him a couple of times. But the way Carolina plays, the way they have the momentum, they're going to get in a hole. If not, they find a way to get out. It's like they play 60 minutes regardless if whatever the outcome early on. And I don't know if the Broncos will get in a hole and find a way to get out. I don't think the offense is as explosive as it is with the Carolina Panthers.
Is the Broncos' offensive line the most important unit on the field, how they can protect Peyton?
Absolutely. And it's not just protecting him, it's just running the ball. Who's going to run the ball better? You see Carolina has done it all year long with Cam Newton, the addition of Cam Newton. And I said earlier it's hard to defend, but, you know, you're talking about C.J. Anderson, you're talking about Tua. Those guys, if those guys can get the running game going, which I don't see how against Carolina's defense, but if they can, now it helps Peyton Manning with the play action and getting the ball down the field. But overall, whoever runs the ball the best is going to win this game. And turnover ratio, as we all know, whoever doesn't turn the ball over, too, the more likely they're going to win.
Dad Nguyen joins us now. Dad, you have a common with Brady Farkas. Brady Farkas' mother interviewed you years ago.
Years back, yes.
Many years back, yeah, you were the first Vietnamese player to be drafted and play in the NFL. And my mom, she's not Vietnamese, but she was working for a Vietnamese newspaper. What was that like for you to kind of blaze the trail?
Well, you know, it's funny. When you sit back after your career, you realize, wow, you didn't realize things were going so fast when you're 18, 19, 20, 23 years old. When you make it to the National Football League, everything was going so fast. You never really appreciate the moment. What were you making? You were making history. I was a pioneer. I was the first Vietnamese American ever to play in the National Football League. So now sitting back, I was like, wow, I hope that I impact enough people, enough kids to realize that you don't have to be Vietnamese. You don't have to be whatever nationality you are. Just go out and follow your dreams. And I think that's the if I had any advice for any kids, go out there and dream big, because I did. I dreamed to be the next Walter Payton. I dreamed to be the next Michael Singletary. It's not that I didn't want to be them. I just wanted to have a chance to play at that high level because the game was just a fun game for me. So any kids out there, dream. And don't let nobody tell you can't dream. And I think if I would listen to all those people that told me I couldn't fulfill a dream, I would never be in the situation I had a chance to experience.
And now you have to sit next to our friend Jason Minix in San Antonio.
Yeah, he's been good. I've been there with him 3 years now. He's historical down there in San Antonio, talking about a lot about Spurs and Cowboys. But it's been a great experience doing the radio. I never thought I would jump on the other side of the fence.
Right.
You know,
be the guy who annoys
the guy,
you.
Well, yeah. I think everybody tells you when you first get to the National Football League, they said, hey, the media is not your friend. So. But that's so true, you know, because when you do, but we all know we have a job to do. But overall, there's a lot of respect on this side of the fence too. It's a lot of work, and you got to keep people entertained, and you got to share stories. And I think that's what I try to do as much as I can, is to share as many stories as possible.
You talked about the Spurs. What's it like dealing with Pop on a daily basis?
I'm thankful that I don't get to deal with him on a daily basis. But you're talking about a guy that's very disciplined. A guy that understands how to touch people at different ways, meaning to motivate. I got a chance to play for your Giants, a former Super Bowl champion coach is Bill Parcells. I got a chance to play for Coach Parcells for 4 years there in Dallas, and he reminds me a lot of Popovich. And Popovich are very similar, and it's just that they got a unique ability to interact with different players and different players from different backgrounds and know how to communicate. And to motivate those guys, and I think that's unique with him. But it's fascinating to watch Greg Popovich coach, because I never seen a guy can draw up a play after a timeout, and 99% of the time they're going to execute that play, and the ball's going to go in the bucket, some way, somehow, and that's fascinating.
Man, you've now blazed another trail. You are the first ever former Dallas Cowboy Vietnamese linebacker to be on this show.
Thank you. Yes,
so I don't know if that we'll get a plaque made.
Well, it's an honor.
Put it next to everything else.
Well, it's an honor to be with you guys. But thank you, man. Thank you for all the good stuff that you guys do.
We appreciate your time. I mean, I love to watch you play on the field, and
thank you.
I watch you, handle a lot of these your compatriots, the NFL players, past and present, and you do a hell of a job, man. So thanks for your time.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.